I was born and raised in Vietnam, but this year I left everything familiar behind and moved to China. Not because I hate my country, but because China made me see what's possible and what's missing back home. In this video, I'm gonna share my honest perspective to you, so grab a coffee, let's talk. I want to start with something you notice the moment you land: system and construction. Recently, Vietnam's been hit by floods again. Roads washed out, houses underwater, and it's heartbreaking to see how much damage a few days of a heavy rain can cause, and it happens every year. We always talk about improving drainage systems, roads, and flood control, but not much really changes. It's not that people don't care or don't work hard, it's just the system moves slowly. Let me give you some examples. The restoration project at Saigon Notre Dame Cathedral started in 2017, and it is expected to be completed by the end of 2027. Ho Chi Minh City's first metro line, Line 1, opened in December 2024, after 17 years of planning and 12 years of construction, just only for one line. The second line is probably in the next 5 years. And if you have never been to the airport in Vietnam, be aware of a very long queue at the immigration, because we do not have fully automated check-in system yet. I'm sorry, but I have to say that is the worst airport in the world. I have to wait at least 1 hour to check in my own country, and if you want to avoid that, you can buy a fast track. In China, things happen fast, and since I am the first tier city in Shanghai, I just feel the momentum. They announced a new metro line, a high-speed train, a bridge, a building, and maybe a month or a year later, it's open. And for the public toilet, maybe just one day. It's crazy how quickly things move here. You can see the system working fast, efficient, and massive in scale. You know that in Vietnam, the traffic is chaos. Motorbikes everywhere, people honking, cars trying to squeeze through. But I have to be honest, somehow it still works, but it's also exhausting. Back when I lived in Ho Chi Minh City, I used to drive a motorbike and I drove it everywhere, and I had a few small accidents because the traffic was crazy. Once I turned right while a guy tried to overtake me and he hit my toes. And then I was bleeding. There's no really good public transportation in Vietnam, so you have to take your own motorcycle, taxi, or Grab. If you don't drive, you're stuck. The traffic is something that you really have to see for yourself to believe that people are even riding their motorcycles on the sidewalks. In Vietnam, the order will be trucks, cars, motorcycles, cycles, animals, and then people. When in China, it's totally opposite. They let the pedestrians walk first and then bikes and cars. When I first moved here, I was walking and the car wanted to cross over me, and it stopped for me to go first, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. It was so strange, but I'll get used to it. In Shanghai, it feels more organized and the metro system is just in the next level. I realized how exhausting that chaos back home. I can get anywhere by metro, it's clean, it's fast, and it's safe. Here, the public transportation actually works. I use metro all the time. For single trips less than 6 kilometers in Shanghai, I only pay around 3 RMB, about 42 cents. There are probably nothing left underground in Shanghai because the government dug it all up to build a subway. And high-speed trains, it takes me like 30 minutes from Shanghai to Suzhou, the same distance that would take around 4 hours by car from Ho Chi Minh City to Mui Ne. It made me realize back home I was surviving the traffic, and here I'm just moving. One thing that really surprised me when I came to China was how clean and organized the streets are. In Shanghai, roads are spotless. You can walk for blocks without seeing trash, and there's always someone cleaning or maintaining something. In Vietnam, it's a bit different. If you stay in tourist areas, things look nice. But once you step into the local neighborhood like District 4 or 5, you see the real streets. Narrow, crowded, noisy, and sometimes even smelly. I'm not saying it to criticize, because that chaos is also a part of the Vietnam's charm, but from the lifestyle point of view, it's not the most comfortable. I love walking, and I walk a lot here in Shanghai, and that's something I couldn't really do back home. In Vietnam, there just aren't many proper sidewalks. In Shanghai, you can find a park almost anywhere, big or small, clean, green, and quiet. For me, that's a huge lifestyle upgrade. Both Vietnam and China still struggle with air pollution, but the difference is China seems to be taking it more seriously. In Vietnam, most of the pollution comes from the traffic, endless motorbikes, cars, trucks, and all running on gas. When I lived in Ho Chi Minh City, I wore a mask every single day. Even when I got home and I washed my face, I still find a layer of dust. Vietnamese people wear masks almost all the time. It's just a part of our lifestyle. What's funny is a lot of foreigners living in Vietnam refuse to wear masks. I asked a few why, and then they answered me, only sick people wear masks. And I was like, no, it's polluted. You can literally feel it on your throat, on your skin, on your clothes. On the other hand, in China, it's polluted still, but it feels different. A few years ago, Beijing had horrible pollution, but the government really pushed for a cleaner energy, green transport, and electric vehicles. Now in Shanghai, most of the bikes are electric, and a lot of cars too. Even buses and delivery scooters run on electricity. I don't say that the air is perfect here. You still can have smoke sometimes, but it's definitely better managed. I can walk outside without instantly feeling dust in my nose. In Vietnam, electric vehicles are still new and expensive. People love their motorbikes, and me too. But I get it, it's part of our culture. Don't get me wrong, I still love the energy of Vietnam, but when it comes to the air quality, I have to admit that China feels cleaner, and my lungs definitely thank me for it. Food control in both countries are not strict. In Vietnam, the problem is everywhere, from street food to factories. Just in 2024, inspectors found over 22,000 food businesses violated safety rules. Remember that huge sandwich poisoning in Dong Nai? More than 500 people got sick after eating contaminated bread. It's not that people don't care, it's just that the enforcement is weak, and the food safety culture takes time to build. In China, they have stricter systems. Every package has a QR code and a traceability info. But that doesn't mean that there's no scandal. This year, over 200 kindergarten kids in Kansu were found in lead poisoning because of the contaminated food. So I guess neither country is safe. Sometimes I read the news and I was like, oh my god, that's so scary. Maybe I should cook at home more to be safe. But then I have to buy the ingredients in the supermarkets and I'm not sure if they're safe. So I guess we just have to be very careful with what we buy and maybe don't be so cheap. This one is simple. I feel safer in China. For me, safety isn't about crime. It's about how peaceful your mind feels walking home alone at 2 a.m. In Shanghai, I can walk home at 2 a.m. with my phone now, and nobody even looks because cameras are everywhere. In Vietnam, yes, you can, but your phone may be not safe. People can snatch your phone from your hand while you're walking or riding a motorbike. 20 years ago, when I was a kid, I could go out and play and go anywhere without my parents worrying. But now you don't see that often anymore. Parents have to pick up their kids and stay with them all the time. Otherwise, they might get kidnapped. If I have a kid, I feel safer to raise them here, like peace of mind. I don't mean to say that Vietnam is unsafe or anything, but I just mean you have to watch yourself and watch your belongings. It's not like, oh, people don't steal. Oh my god, people don't do anything bad to you. You know what I mean? But in China, because cameras are everywhere, so people, even if they think about that, they don't dare to do it. The policeman can track you at any second. Vietnam's internet is open. China's internet is extremely fast but close. No Google, no YouTube, no Instagram, no Facebook. You need a VPN to access to international websites and apps. Please note that using VPN is legally gray in China, not allowed for individuals. As far as I know, there is no written law saying that Chinese people cannot use VPN. As long as you do not say any sensitive political stuff about China, you should be fine. When I go out, I just need my phone because I pay everything by Alipay or WeChat Pay, and obviously I don't miss cash. I'm not sure if it's a bit offensive to say, but I was a bit shocked to see even Chinese women spitting a lot on the street and the men smoking everywhere, and they do stare at people. But once you get to know them, they're actually very nice, very kind, caring, hospitable, and adorable. Chinese people might not smile at strangers, but once they get to know you, they actually treat you like family. And it might sound a bit cold, but Chinese people don't really interfere in other people's businesses. Like if they see an argument, a fight, like anything on the street, they just keep going. And so it's not that people are cold, but it's just none of their business, right? If you really want their help, just like, oh, 帮我,帮我,帮我, and yeah, maybe they will help. What about Vietnamese people? Oh my god, we very open and very friendly from the start to the middle to the end. We talk to anyone, laugh with anyone, and we help each other on the streets. You will find us really supportive and helpful and very caring. And yeah, we have friendly people in both countries, but in different ways. Nowhere is perfect. It's about how happy and satisfied you are in one place and how much you can accept its cons. Living here made me see what's possible and what I hope Vietnam can become. Do I miss Vietnam? Yes, it blows my mind to know that I miss the chaos traffic back home sometimes. Do I want to go back to live in Vietnam in the future? Possibly, yes. Wherever you are, just remember the grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence. It's just different. Alright, that's it for today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day no matter where you are in this universe. Bye!